Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favourite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. You've got to keep your conscious wits about you at this time of year. Oh my goodness. Let me explain why it's particularly important right now. It's a funny one. There are a few things usually going on at this time of year. So you've hopefully taken some decent time off, eaten all the food, drank all the wine, all the mocktails, whatever floats your boat, or just had a week or two kind of outside of your usual routine. So it just feels super difficult to get back into sometimes, particularly if you also stop doing the things that you know usually make you feel good and you can't put your finger on why you might be in a little bit of a funk. You might be taking an extended break, like moi, and you're seeing people all over socials talking about goals and resolutions and going to be, what appears to be all in on whatever they're doing, but you're struggling to get your bottom off the sofa and allowing guilt to take over. Or maybe you're trying to go all in, but you're just really, really not feeling it. So what the fudge do you do? Firstly, you give yourself a break. I don't necessarily mean literally. You've probably just had one or are still having one. What I mean is give yourself a break mentally. Stop beating yourself up for doing or not doing what you've decided that you should. That word again. I'm technically still off right now until the middle of January. I had a rule that I started when I was working in corporate that I'd always take the first week of January off without fail. I'm doing a couple of bits and bobs here and there as necessary because I've taken the first 2 weeks of January off and then I'm going straight into the mentorship retreat. Glorious. But I'm off for client calls or anything like that, anything particularly taxing. And my schedule is very much my schedule. And it feels glorious. And I don't feel the slightest bit behind. Because really, what meaning does that even have except the one that you're giving it by yourself? Yeah. So I'm getting the most of my membership at the spa gym right now. Loving it. Doing classes, hopping into the pool or the hot tub, then up to the manor house for a cuppa, do a little work if I want to or need to, then home. Glorious. So, and then as I said, the first official week back at work is the mentorship retreat. So it's a pretty nice start to the year in my eyes. I'm much more of a ease yourself in, softly, softly catchy monkey than, it's January, you have to do all the things now. It's just rubbish. So here's the thing. While I'm swanning about, the Wellness Wife seems to have woken up on social media and it's loud, right? So not only are we seeing business owners getting back into it with a little fire in their bellies, shall we say, after a break, we're also seeing the new year, new you, shame-based marketing everywhere. It's intentionally making you feel behind, right? Hence the title of this episode. If you don't have your conscious wits about you right now, some of that pesky programming might very easily come and bite you in the bum. So what do I mean by this? You might be scrolling. All good. When you're doing it with the intention and consciousness of curiosity, staying in your own lane and doing your thing. But if that slides, oh, well, hello, old friend comparison. How not delightful to see you here. Yeah. Then come the shoulds. I plan to take this time off, but this person's doing this and that person's doing that. OMG, I'm already behind. You might allow some of that shame-based marketing and messaging to wangle its way in too, which is never, ever a good thing. So just stop. Being in comparison to what or who, yeah? Behind in comparison to what or who. Let other people do their thing. I guarantee you a lot of what they're doing won't be sustainable and you will see it drop off. So take a chill pill. I'm very much a sit back, watch and do my own thing kind of gal. I like to treat things as experiments and think, ooh, I wonder if this would work. You know, I marinate on things and don't tend to do anything kind of knee jerk, which is why it has taken me so long to create my membership and the app. As it's a totally different format to what I've seen. Same thing for my launch. More on that in due course. But I am a manifesting generator by human design, meaning I don't love feeling tied into things or that I have to do something and things have to feel right for me. So I kind of lead in with that a lot, you know, what I launch and when, and kind of don't beat myself up for it. Yeah, makes sense. And remember, a lot of people going all in, they will be going into the new year thinking like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z every day this year. I'm going to post on socials, go to the gym, eat healthily, read, meditate, whatever it might be. But guess what? Although a few people will be able to stick to it and form the habit, most of us, we're not really wired that way. So you'll absolutely see people drop off. So really, honestly, don't worry about it right now. And they'll then feel super pants about it too. Yeah. Stop comparing yourself. You're not comparing apples and apples. This is one of the big reasons resolutions don't stick. It's going against our current identity. We shame ourselves into them, looking at them as things we think are wrong with ourselves, and then attempt to go all in on doing something different and inevitably fall off the wagon when our nervous system and our brains go, whoa, Nelly, this isn't familiar. We don't like it. This could be unsafe. You know, then comes the resistance, the excuses, then some more shame for failing or quitting. Yeah? So focus on what is actually sustainable for you and the way you want your life to be every month of the year, rather than, oh, it's January, I've got to do more. Yeah, and just get consistent as possible with what is actually sustainable for you. Sure, get inspiration from what others are doing, but do not let it make you shame yourself for what you're doing or not doing. And you might also just not really be feeling it just yet. And that's okay. You can get curious with that. This is one of the benefits of consciousness and unearthing the bits that are underneath the behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. You know, this has come up in the mentorship this week, and I've seen it on socials too. Like, that's why it's so important to have people around you who support you, because it's so easy to get caught up in this loop. This is part of being a human, and it's part of being a business owner. You're going to have wobbles and ups and downs, but having somewhere to voice it and have others help you figure out what might be going on for you is utterly priceless. I would say essential, you know. And another thing that might be happening unconsciously right now is that you might be putting pressure on yourself to nail everything straight out the gate. You know, we want to do all these new things in January, right? Life just doesn't work that way. Sure, some people might have a totally innate natural ability for something, but mastery is always about improvement over time, allowing yourself to have a beginner's mind. So today I did my second power hoop class and I suck. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am awful. Yeah, there were people in the class just hooping with ease. And there was me in the corner dropping it left, right and centre, stumbling over the steps and literally falling over at one point in a class of 4 people. If you don't know what a power hoop is, go Google it. It's like basically a giant weighted hula hoop type thing. And I always wanted to be good at hula hooping when I was little, and I could never crack it. But I still went. So in that kind of situation, you can have the mentality to get frustrated, think you should be better, be jealous of the people who are better, wondering what's wrong with you, why can't you get it, assume you're just awful so there's no point trying. You can compare yourself to the other people in the class who are nailing it. Or you can acknowledge that you're a flipping beginner and you're going to suck, but you will get better if you keep going and practicing. So I watched the other people in the class to see what they were doing differently and kept adjusting my technique. And even in the class I made improvements. I was just watching them, watching their techniques, say, like, and what's working for them? Like, what can I change in what I'm doing that's closer to what they're doing that might help me? Yeah. And I also didn't allow the unconscious thoughts to just take over. And I saw evidence that I was right where I was supposed to be. So I asked them how long they'd been practicing. So instead of just assuming that they are innately amazing at it and it was something that was wrong with me, I asked the question. One was 3 years, one was 2. Yeah. So, and I also asked, what were they like when they started? You see what I'm doing here? Trying to figure out, like, what can I learn? What could I do to help myself improve? And when I asked them what they were like when they started, they said, well, actually, I was way worse than you. I couldn't keep the hoop up for more than 2 spins. Do you see the difference? I gathered information and evidence that my brain and nervous system needed to stop sending me pesky thoughts that I'm useless and I can't do it. There's no point. So I know I'll go back next week and I'll improve again. Maybe I'll fall over again. That's cool. Yeah. And this kind of mentality is part of what I'm doing in the January Jumpstart too. It's getting people to be a little more in their conscious mind, in their prefrontal cortex throughout the day, flexing that conscious muscle. Yeah, is really important. So I've been absolutely flipping loving having people message and email me about the results that they're seeing and what a huge difference it's already making. You can still join if you want to. You'll just get the next days. The link is in my bio on Instagram at I'm Fran Excel in the show notes, or you can head to bit.ly/Fran's Jumpstart. It's running every day in January. So hopefully you can see from some of this how having your conscious hat on, having that curiosity, having that consciousness awake can save you a lot of unnecessary heartache and mean inner talk. Yeah. So here is to a conscious 2022. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. If you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to booking a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next week. Bye!